Let's talk about best practices when dealing with petty cash or having a petty cash fund. And I will share with you an experience I had as a bookkeeper at a small company that had a petty cash fund. Let's get into it. The gist of a petty cash fund is so that the business owner or the accounting department doesn't have to write small checks for small amounts. Imagine having to write checks all the time if someone purchased an ink pen or a package of paper on behalf of the company. Well, the petty cash is supposed to be a convenience, so you don't have to do this. Well, there are pros and cons with dealing with petty cash, and some, of course, the obvious having to do with theft, but also it's an added responsibility for the bookkeeper to enter in all of those transactions. I'm not going to go into detail with regard to petty cash as much as I am going to talk about processes that should be in place prior to you starting your petty cash fund. What I mean by less said is better is that do not brag or do not tell every employee that you have a petty cash fund. Well, why, Nina? Because that's asking for trouble. That's asking for potential theft. On a need-to-know basis, let your employees know that you do have a petty cash fund. And from where I'm sitting, the only person that really needs to know is you and the bookkeeper. Establish step-by-step processes as to how petty cash should be used. That way, your bookkeeper or your accounting department will know what to ask that employee who's going to be using petty cash, what they need to submit to your company's accounting department in order to get their money back. Properly document how funds are transferred and moved from your primary bank account to your petty cash fund. And what I mean by that is doing your proper QuickBooks entries to ensure that that money can be accounted for. Business owners, don't go in your pocket and hand someone $200 and say, here, just put that into petty cash, because that just adds another area where someone could possibly steal the money. In your petty cash, do you need thousands of dollars in it? If you do not, don't keep thousands of dollars in your petty cash fund. Keep the minimum amount required so that, again, less chance of someone stealing your petty cash fund. Don't lay thousands of dollars out when all you probably need is a couple $100s. Require written approval prior to an employee utilizing petty cash funds. And that could be another video in and of itself. And that could be as simple as an email stating that the employee is allowed to use petty cash funds to pick up whatever they need to pick up. Require your employees to submit a receipt directly from the store in which the purchase was made. If there is no receipt from that store, an invoice with the organization's logo, name, address, phone number, who was involved in the transaction, have them sign off on the invoice if there is no store receipt. Properly enter that transaction into your QuickBooks software. Whenever there is money taken out of your petty cash, there should be a transaction in QuickBooks based on that receipt that the employee returns to the person responsible for petty cash. Finally, as the business owner, if your bookkeeper comes to you and says, hey, we need more petty cash in the petty cash box, it is up to you to request hey, I need to see a check register where I can look at all the expenses that were incurred in petty cash. Always stay on top of that. That way you can ask questions. Well, who authorized this expense? Well, let me see this receipt, and that will reduce the chances of money being stolen from your petty cash fund. Is it a good idea for your business to have a petty cash fund? Well, that's up to you as the business owner, as well as the types of expenses your business incurs. Do you have a petty cash fund at your business? Let me know in the comment section, how is that working for you? And also let me know if you are pulling reports on a regular basis to see where your petty cash funds are going. Thanks for watching.